And back to the phones. Rush Limbaugh would have my brain tied behind my back just to make it fair. Look at here. Obama's supposed to do a press conference at 1:30. He's late. It hasn't started. You know, people ask me, are you going to jip it? Are you going to join it in progress? I said, no, we're not going to do. Why should people do not turn into this program, tune in here to hear Obama. They tune in here to hear what we think of Obama. And so why? Besides, if you want to plan on jipping or carrying Obama live, you can't because he's never on time. So all these reporters are sitting around just filling, and it's sickening. You know, it is sickening how breathless these guys are. We've had 6 years of Obama just wandering aimlessly in vain search of a thought at all these press conferences, and they're sitting around breathless. He's only 5 minutes away. Obama's coming in 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes. We can't wait. It just makes me sick. The sophistry, the sycophantery that these people engage in waiting for this guy. I guess it's, you know, they're all in the same club and they're all excited, but just for me, I have no patience for it. Rather talk to you. Brian, Jacksonville, Florida. Hello, sir. Thank you for calling. It's great to have you here.
Thank you, Russ, and Merry Christmas to you and your staff, and thanks for having a very good show.
Thank you, sir, very much.
I hope that I have as much passion in this phone call as I did this morning talking to my wife, and I hope I come across clearly. Listen, Sharpton and people like him, the only reason they're still in power is because people continue to give them the opportunity to have power. Sony has a lot going on, I realize that. But when the lady called to apologize or whatever she did to him, why does she feel obligated? It was a private interaction between her and another employee. And like you said the other day, I think it was the other day, where you said, hey, it's out there. She meant it. If they didn't mean it, they wouldn't have done it. So why would you apologize for it? The only reason that he and other people have their power is because people keep bowing down to them and giving them power. And until somebody stands up and says, look, you're insignificant, we're not going to do this, we might get hit a little bit on our profit margin, but why are you going to give up your independence? I still can't understand.
Well, you're right.
People continue to bow down.
No, you're right. But let me try to explain how this happens. And what you must try to do here is relate to the liberal brain and the liberal mind. So let's now become, for just a moment, you and me, Brian, will become Amy Pascal. And she is the co-leading highest executive at Sony. There's the chairman, the CEO, and she's the co-chair of Sony Pictures. Okay, so right away we know she's in a business filled with make-believe and phoniness and fraud, slapping people on the back and making a lot of people you don't like you. Okay, it is its own world, it's its own business. As such, I don't know what her real politics are. Probably liberal. But even if they're not, she has to act like one. She has to be one. She has to give money to liberals. She has to kowtow to liberal causes. She has to go to liberal fundraisers. She probably is one. She probably likes it. But even if she weren't, she has to do that, okay? As such, Amy Pascal is a student of media. She has seen what has happened to people Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson have targeted. She doesn't want that treatment. She has seen that the media constantly align with Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson. If Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson decide to target something or somebody, the media is right in there amplifying it, promoting it, giving them a little acceleration, and she doesn't want that because she lives in a world where it's more important what people think of her than who she really is. It's more important to her what people think of her and her work than who she really is and what she really does. And so the short way of saying this, if the media can make you, they can break you. If you let the media make you, in other words, if the public perception of you is not rooted in your work, your body of work, and if your work doesn't speak for itself, if your success is because the media has told people you're great and because the media has been in your corner, well, then you realize the media can break you. And she knows that race is something that people have been ruined and destroyed over. And she doesn't want to go anywhere near it. So she will do anything, Brian, to avoid this. She will grovel. She will bend over. She will beg. She will go so beneath herself and go down to Al Sharpton's level and raise him up to her level to save her career and job, because every bit of her identity, or the vast majority of it, is rooted in what people think of her. That's why they're in panic over these emails being released.
Well, it must be great living in her fake and plastic world, because she has no freedom. And until people have freedom and stand up for what is right and what the principles are of this nation, then this is going to continue. Stop giving them the power, regardless if it's her or anybody else. You can't bow down to
I
people,
know, but
then they will conquer you.
Who was the
and you will
last?
not
Wait
have
a
your
second
freedom.
now. Who's the last person that you can think of that stood up to Al Sharpton? Who's the last person that said to Al Sharpton, "Go to hell, bud. I don't care what you think. You can't touch me. Go to. I don't care." Name one.
Well, let's start with me today. How about that? And I'm not apologizing for anything I'm saying today. How about that, world? Take that.
Yeah, but Al Sharpton's not attacking you.
Well, he might after this, won't he?
Well, sounds like you want him to. It can be arranged.
Well, it's not a rage. It's a passion to where somebody just needs to stand up and say the word stop. Everybody just stop.
I agree.
Somebody would have stood up during Ferguson or all the other stuff.
But it's
somebody of power and leadership to say stop it.
It is a question of guts and the easiest route to someplace. That would be considered the hardest way for her to survive. She's going to take the easy path. But I want to make one point, but we have to get out of here on this break, about your point about freedom. And that's what she has no freedom. If she can't be who she is, if she can't react the way she'd really like to, she has got no freedom. He's exactly right about that. I want to share with you a very short story about Natan Sharansky. He was a Soviet Jew. He was imprisoned in the Soviet Union, speaking out against the regime. He's Israeli as well. I got to know him shortly after. He dates back to the Reagan era and a little bit beyond. And he tells the story that while he was in a Soviet prison, he would look at the Soviet guard and say, "I may be behind bars, but I have more freedom than you do." And the guard said, what are you, crazy? Look at you. You're behind bars. I'm on the other side of the way. Sharansky, yeah, I can laugh at Putin. I can laugh at all of them. You can't. Yeah, but you're behind bars. Maybe so, but I am free to be who I am, and you aren't. And Brian may not know it, but that's the exact point he's making about these Sony people. They are not free to be who they are. They're all having to play a role here, and that's why they're all in trouble, and they're afraid to be who they really are. That's what's been exposed.